Coming up on the Rockbridge Report, the CEO of TikTok is trying to convince lawmakers on Capitol Hill today not to ban the app.
Our approach has never been to dismiss or trivialize any of these concerns. We have addressed them with real action.
And Mike Pence visited Lexington Tuesday evening for Washington and Lee's mock convention. More on what the potential Republican presidential candidate revealed about a future announcement. A tornado hit California for the first time in 40 years. Take a look at the wreckage in the storm-battered state. And a mix of rain and warm weather is on the way to Lexington. Weather anchor Juliana Stevenson will tell you how to prepare. All this and more now on the Rockbridge Report.
Live from the campus of Washington and Lee University with news from Rockbridge County, this is the Rockbridge Report.
Welcome to the Rockbridge Report. I'm Carly Snyder.
And I'm Archita Agarwal. He's a possible contender for president, and this week, former Vice President Mike Pence visited Washington and Lee University to talk about his political future. Andrew Arnold was there.
Reporters from around the country came to University Chapel to see if former Vice President Mike Pence would throw his hat in the ring for the Republican presidential primaries. But Pence said they will have to wait a little longer.
Vice President, can we expect your announcement of whether or not to run before the summertime?
Yes. Okay. Is that a short enough answer for you?
Pence spoke to a full crowd of W&L students, alumni, and faculty about his opinion on a number of issues, as well as the direction of his party.
I submit to you today that conservatives must offer a positive vision, firmly focused in the future. And we need to produce leaders that will speak hard truths to the American people.
W&L's MockCon was hosting Pence for its 2023 spring kickoff event. The organization also brought in Fox News' Brett Baer to interview.
I was glad that he didn't really softball Pence. There were moments where Pence paused up to a minute before answering a question, and you could tell Brett Baer kind of stumped him at the beginning, and I appreciated that.
W&L's mock convention has predicted presidential nomination outcomes since 1908. According to its website, it's the most accurate mock convention in the nation.
I think we're aiming higher and that we've proven this with spring kickoff.
General Chair Ramsey Trask said she thought Pence's speech fulfilled the MockCon mission of informing voters. She also said she's excited to have more big-name speakers like Pence next fall. For the Rockbridge Report, I'm Andrew Arnold.
As Pence gives his stump speech, his involvement in January 6th continues to follow him, with a sealed federal court hearing today. The hearing will cover Pence's grand jury testimony and Donald Trump's claims of executive privilege over their conversations around January 6th.
TikTok's CEO is on Capitol Hill Thursday, telling lawmakers the popular video sharing platform is not a national security threat. Shou Chew testified before the House Energy and Commerce Committee, saying he wants to clear up misconceptions. Lawmakers are considering banning TikTok out of fears China might use it for spying. No publicly available evidence demonstrates it's done so, and TikTok doesn't operate in China. But U.S. officials are concerned about the potential for espionage. Chew counters that the app is safeguarded by American workers.
We do not trust TikTok will ever embrace American values. Values for freedom, human rights, and innovation. TikTok has repeatedly chosen the path for more control, more surveillance, and more manipulation. Your platform should be banned.
The bottom line is this: American data stored on American soil by an American company, overseen by American personnel.
To avoid a ban, TikTok has been trying to sell officials on a plan called Project Texas, which routes all U.S. user data to domestic servers. For many residents in Rockbridge County, reducing the property tax rate will no longer be enough to offset the cost of surging property values. Homeowners who saw their property values rise above the countywide average of 21% may now have to pay hundreds of dollars more in taxes per year after a state-mandated reassessment. Residents with properties valued at $200,000 to $400,000 will be hit the hardest. Read Emma Mansfield's full story at rockbridgereport.wlu.edu.
The Rockbridge County School Board announced a new policy to make naloxone available at all Rockbridge County public schools. Naloxone, also known as Narcan, is a drug that reverses an opioid overdose. Our reporter Ned Newton is live with more. Ned?
The Virginia Department of Health held a Narcan training session for all Rockbridge County administrators, principals, and school nurses last week as part of its Revive program. The health department has provided Narcan to 39 school divisions across the state since late 2021. School administrators in the county say the Narcan policy will ensure community safety amid the growing opioid problem in Virginia. Opioid overdose emergency department visits in the state have increased every year since 2018. Narcan is the safest way to reverse an opioid overdose because it has no negative side effects. For the Rockbridge Report, I'm Ned Newton.
Thanks, Ned. You can read Ned's full story online at rockbridgereport.wlu.edu. People are keeping an eye on the market after the Federal Reserve raised interest rates. Yesterday's move comes despite concerns that higher borrowing rates could worsen turmoil in the banking system. Fed Chair Jerome Powell tried to reassure Americans that it is safe to leave money in their banks at a news conference. Powell's comments come 2 weeks after the second biggest bank failure in U.S. history.
Iowa Governor Kim Reynolds signed a new law Wednesday that prohibits any gender-affirming treatment for transgender minors. The Iowa law bans healthcare professionals from giving any treatment that is not consistent with a minor's gender at birth. That includes any treatment that would change the appearance of the minor's gender or affirm the minor's perception of gender if it's different from the minor's sex at birth. Governor Reynolds also signed what opponents have called a, quote, bathroom bill, which prohibits transgender people from using bathrooms that do not correspond to their gender at birth. An investigation into the killing of Otenio at a Virginia mental hospital continues. Some defense attorneys for the 7 sheriff deputies and 3 hospital employees charged offered statements. They said their clients were only trying to restrain Otenio, and the family Otenio's lawyers said defense attorneys were offering excuses. A prosecutor said yesterday that a second investigation into Otenio's death is also ongoing. All 10 defendants have pretrial hearings set for late April or May.
Coming up on the Rockbridge Report, college students are experiencing record mental health struggles. We'll tell you what a new study revealed.
Hi, I'm Juliana Stevenson with the Rockbridge Report. It is a beautiful and sunny day here in Lexington, but it seems like it's not going to stay that way. Find out more on my forecast coming up.
And Rockbridge County High School's Career Center is steps closer to a new look and a new name. We'll have more on what's next for the big project. Welcome back to the Rockbridge Report. A 5% raise for city employees and increasing water and sewer expenses will be hot topics as Buena Vista prepares to consider a proposed budget next month. For more on the budget, check out Jack Hunter's story on our website, rockbridgereport.wlu.edu. Rockbridge County High School's Career and Technical Education Center is steps closer to a new look. School board officials decided on a construction approach for the $8 million project. The facility also got a new name. Christian Basnight reports.
Rockbridge County's Career and Technical Education Center has helped prepare students for the workforce since 1976. Paige Owens, the director of Rockbridge County's CTE program, says the facility is due for an upgrade.
We felt like now's the time to do the renovation and to start taking our CTE programs to the next level.
School board members decided on having contractors renovate the entire CTE center all at once, rather than doing it in phases. Superintendent Philip Thompson says renovating the facility in one go is more efficient.
It's cheaper to do it that way, and it's faster to do it that way. They don't have to work around students.
CTE instructor Coulter Bennett says he doesn't mind teaching in another space.
I can manage, as long as I have internet access, I can keep my classes rolling.
The CTE Center is changing in more ways than one. Last week, school board members renamed the Floyd S.K. Vocational Center the Rockbridge Innovation Center.
Our students, we want them to be innovative. We want them to create. We want them to solve the world's problems right there at the Rockbridge Innovation Center, and it just seemed like an appropriate name.
Now, school officials are looking for appropriate spaces to hold certain CTE courses next school year. The high school's culinary students will likely travel to Buena Vista to take classes in the kitchen of Mountain Gateway Community College. Owens says he's working hard to find spaces for the school's automotive program. Some CTE instructors will have to share classroom spaces with other teachers.
This is a short-term amount of pain for a long-term amount of gain.
School officials say they're wrapping up design work and hope to break ground on the Innovation Center in the summer. They also anticipate preparing a plan soon for where they'll place next school year's CTE courses. They expected the center to be ready by August 2024. For the Rockbridge Report, I'm Christian Bassnight.
Some U.S. college students say they're having trouble coping with their course loads. A study from Gallup and the Lumina Foundation reports 2 out of every 5 undergraduates say they often have emotional stress issues. More than 40% of those who responded say they have thought about dropping out of school as a result of their problems. Researchers also say that the number of college students who say they suffer from anxiety and depression has been on the rise for years. The findings are based on 12,000 men and women who had yet to graduate with a bachelor's degree.
Kendall at Lexington is giving people the opportunity to virtually experience dementia starting this spring. The local retirement community received a $23,000 grant last July to develop its dementia programs. The director of the program said it will show firsthand what it's like to have dementia, which is a first step to greater understanding and empathy. Read Ted Jacobson's full story at rockbridgereport.wlu.edu. Spring marks the beginning of the peak season for local fly fishing. Eager fishers rush to streams each day to try to catch fresh trout, bass, and carp. Ryan Rach has the story.
Fishing opportunities are abundant in Rockbridge County. The James River offers a variety of different species, including smallmouth bass, catfish, and sunfish. Glen Maury Park is another popular spot where tourists and avid fly fishers can find largemouth bass. Other locations include Buffalo Creek, Jordan's Point, and Lake Robertson. Fly fishing isn't just a hobby for some. For Owen Murray, who leads fly fishing trips through Virginia River Guides in Lexington, it's a way of life.
I definitely like the peace and tranquility it brings, but there's always an exciting moment. Whether you hook a fish that's pretty big and it goes on a big run, or if a rainstorm hits and you have to adapt to the conditions, it always keeps you on your toes, and it's a fun way to get outside and connect with the outdoors.
Murray says that Rockbridge County is heaven for a fly fisher.
I think we just have a really awesome area with a diverse fishery. So we've got the Maury River with warm water species like bass and carp, but then we also have native brook trout streams up in the Allegheny Mountains and Blue Ridge Mountains.
Montebello State Fish Hatchery in Nelson County raises brook, brown, and rainbow trout. They receive the fish as fingerlings, which is between 1 and 5 inches, and they raise them in raceways until they reach almost a foot long. At that time, the trout are ready to be released into streams all over the state. Hatcher manager L.E. Humphreys says that Montebello currently releases more than 1,000 fish at a time almost every weekday. The hatchery stocks 100 to 150,000 trout per year. Murray says that this is the ideal time to be fishing.
This is prime time, especially rainbow trout. The rainbow trout are thinking about spawning pretty soon once the temperatures get in their ideal range.
Stocking season for Montebello State Fish Hatchery began in October, where they were doing 2 or 3 stockings a week. Since February, they have been stocking local streams every day and will continue to do so until May. For the Rockbridge Report, I'm Ryan Rach.
Up next on the Rockbridge Report, it's an unusually sunny day in Lexington. We'll show you what the rest of the area looks like. And later, student athletes have a new opportunity to profit from endorsements with the help of local businesses.
And we'll share some highlights from a star player on Washington and Lee's baseball team. Welcome back to the Rockbridge Report.
A tornado hit near Los Angeles Wednesday, a first for California in 40 years. The National Weather Service confirmed the tornado was an EF1 with estimated peak winds of 110 miles per hour. CNN's Stephanie Alone has details on the aftermath in Montebello.
Debris flying through the sky in Montebello, California.
I saw what looked like a waterspout kind of tornado twister that was about 30 feet wide that just came through and was just bouncing like a top in between, picking up debris. The whole sky looked like a dump.
The National Weather Service confirming the area in Los Angeles County saw a rare tornado touch down Wednesday. The powerful winds tearing through this warehouse, damaging more than a dozen buildings in the area, blowing out windows and tearing roofs off buildings. Torrential rain came down after this roof was torn from a seafood supply warehouse. The employees hid in the corner, unable to pull this metal door down against the wind. The warehouse was hit by the tail end of the storm that left the building battered with debris strewn throughout. The National Weather Service says the storm formed so quickly, no official warning was given to residents.
This particular tornado spun up very quickly, and there's actually a subset of tornadoes that form too quickly to be detected and warned for, and this happened to be one of those.
On Tuesday, a small tornado hit a city in Santa Barbara County, creating a very narrow and consolidated path of destruction. Residents witnessed debris flying in the air and trees uprooted.
Within a few seconds, my carport disappeared. I turned to go in the house. A piece of it hit me in the face. Luckily, it was a flat piece, didn't cut me. Some of these awnings were flown up in the air several hundred feet and landed in tops of trees.
California has been getting hit pretty hard recently, but it's a different story here in Lexington. Let's take a look at a live shot from Rockbridge County High School. It's been a clear and sunny day with a high of 79 and a low of 58. We have a barometric pressure of 29.91 inches with a wind speed of 32 miles per hour and a humidity of 41%. From our radar, we can see those clear skies once again. Now let's take a look at our regional conditions. Here in Lexington, we have a temperature of 79 as well as in Buena Vista with sunny skies. Over in Stanton, it's a little bit colder with some clouds, 77. In Charlottesville, it's even warmer at 83 degrees, and down south in Lynchburg, it's at 81. Taking a look over at Roanoke, let's take a look at our 5-day forecast. On Friday, some rain is going to be coming in with a high of 77 and a low of 50. On Saturday, the rain is here to stay with a high of 71 and a low of 47. On Sunday, the sun's going to come back with a high of 68 and a low of 43, but on Monday, the rain is coming back again with a high of 62 and a low of 41. On Tuesday, we're going to find a happy medium with some partly sunny skies, high of 58 and a low of 34. It's going to be a pretty rainy weekend here in Lexington. Carly, Archita, back to you.
Coming up on the Rockbridge Report, Virginia Military Institute baseball notched wins over Norfolk State this weekend, but lost to Virginia Tech yesterday. More on VMI's record.
And the TS has weighed in on whether a popular consumer item is a liquid. We'll tell you which item that is next.
Welcome back to the Rockbridge Report. A local business in Rockbridge County has just started partnering with college students as part of an NIL deal. NIL stands for Name, Image, Likeness, a new NCAA rule that, for the first time, allows student athletes to profit from endorsements and other publicity. Billy Quilley reports.
The state of Virginia made NIL deals legal last July. Big-name athletes in Virginia, like UVA men's basketball star Kihei Clark, have signed a deal with Roback. But now, local business owner Amy Phillips has opened up her store to partner with Rockbridge County college athletes.
Currently, we have 6 athletes. We have 2 from VMI, we have 3 from SVU, and we have 1 from WNL. When they come in, they get complimentary bowls or smoothies.
Lex Bowls asks their athletes to post on social media photos of the athletes eating or drinking their products to promote the business.
It obviously gets us out there to even more people when they're posting it on their social media.
Phillips asks her athletes to engage with and give back to the younger community as part of their NIL deal. Some Lex Bowls athletes say they are excited to connect with the children in the county.
Have the athletes show up and kind of mentor the kids. So I think it's great to give back to the community.
Some of those things are like going to talk to elementary students, helping out with field days, food drives, things of that nature.
Other Lex Bowls signed athletes encourage student athletes to come join the team and support a local Rockbridge County business.
I've had an amazing experience just seeing people go into Lex Bowls.
If you're feeling scared to work with any business or anything, it's probably a good sign because you never know the impact you can have as an athlete.
In the future, Phillips says she hopes on adding an ambassador program that functions as an NIL deal for students studying arts and theater. Phillips says she believes this could get a wider audience of customers and more students willing to participate in giving back to the local community. For the Rockbridge Report, I'm Billy Quealy.
I personally wonder how many student athletes at WNL will take advantage of this NIL deal.
Yeah, I mean, I know it's the spring season and I've been seeing the baseball team out and practicing a lot.
This is my favorite time of year, not just because of the warm spring weather, but because it is baseball season. Let's get into it. Washington and Lee baseball bounced back from Monday's doubleheader loss with a 12-2 victory over Eastern Mennonite University. I had the opportunity to speak with the team's star player after the game.
Good afternoon, Rockbridge. I'm here at Washington and Lee Smith Field, where the Generals baseball team just absolutely pummeled Eastern Mennonite University in a 12-2 victory. I'm joined here by first-year Nick Lagis. Congratulations on the victory. Phenomenal performance, 2 home runs and 3 at-bats. Hit by the pitch on the 3rd at-bat. I'm sure there's a roller coaster of emotions going through your mind right now, but what went right today?
Pitching and defense, just getting us off the field quick, really helped the offense get going and just munch up every fastball down the middle.
The team is in the midst of an 11-game home stretch right now, and this is actually the first win of it. How do you plan on seizing this momentum going into the next 8 games?
You know, we just got to keep going, and every day is a new day, so we just got to focus on the next one.
Thank you so much for your time, and best of luck moving forward.
Yeah, thank you.
In other general sports news, the number 2 ranked women's lacrosse team continued their strong season on the road yesterday with a 19-11 finish over University of Mary Washington. The men's lacrosse team, on the other hand, put up a great fight, but ultimately came up short against number 1 ranked Christopher Newport. The captains bested the Generals 16-11. And the win streak of Virginia Military Institute's baseball team quickly came to a halt following yesterday's 11-0 loss against Virginia Tech. The Keydets travel to Spartanburg, South Carolina to take on the Wofford Terriers this Friday. Rockbridge County High School's baseball suffered a couple disappointing losses this week. They lost to Allegheny County 9-3 yesterday, and again to Fort Defiance 16-7 on Tuesday. This warm weather is bringing in some fantastic games. I can't wait to see how these upcoming matchups unfold. That's all for sports. Back to you, Carly.
Spread the news. The Transportation Security Administration considers peanut butter a liquid. That means you aren't allowed to bring large containers of it onto planes. The TSA explained its ruling in a Twitter post on Tuesday. It defines a liquid as something with no definite shape that takes the shape of its container. The agency says peanut butter fits this definition and must therefore be in a 3.4-ounce container to pass through security. The issue took off last week when podcaster Patrick Neve had his jar of peanut butter confiscated at airport security. Neve shared the experience in a Twitter post, and it went viral.
That's all for the Rockbridge Report. Tune in after this for a newsmaker interview with the agriculture expert Tom Stanley. Thanks for watching.
Weather, and I'm just talking with my hands, so it was I'd love to know